All right, so we're going to do a little explorational driving and get a sense of what the road vacations around the New Baptist property are going to mean. So obviously this is Rawson, and if Baptist gets their vacation request, this road will become private property. Now, they've already said they're trying their best to accommodate people and they're not intending to close it right away, and they're working with the people who are already, still working here, even though they have, either if they have bought the businesses and they're going to get ready to demolish them or haven't. But okay, I just want to give you a sense of what the city is looking to vacate on first reading this week. So that's Rawson all the way here to CORDAY. Okay, that will be a private road if it's approved. I'll take you all the way over here just because you get to see the other end of things. CORDAY itself will become private road all the way to, well, here, which is where it ends. I'll pause you so you don't have to watch me turning around. But of course, what you see, one of the major businesses that is, at least at the moment, still here, Good Time Tours, still functioning here, and they will have no access to their building once, just because it's a private road doesn't mean that you have no access. Obviously, it'd have to be closed before that would happen. But okay, so continuing on here, there's Honeysuckle, which is an unopened right-of-way, I guess. I'm not sure what that is. It's on your Google Maps, but it's not really something you can use. So CORDAY will go all the way down. Over here is the Gateway Church of Christ. They've already vacated that property. There's Joe Elliott. We'll come back and look at that in a moment. On the left. CORDAY is going to get closed from DIXIE all the way to 110. Okay, so here, this is where the vacation. I keep saying closure, but that's not accurate. So this stretch will stay open. Will stay public. Will stay. In fact, I think this might even be county property here, because remember they've gone through the annexation process, and so they're only petitioning to vacate it right away from the city because they don't have the county property. Oh, it looks like, oh, well, goodness. Okay, so I'm not showing you, but there's something significant happening here. What I'm not showing you is what's happened to my left, and I will show you here in a moment, is that there has been tremendous cutting already, not of trees so much, but brush. This used to be all entirely overgrown, and some trees, now these big trees, we've talked about this before, they're trying to keep those, but there has been an enormous amount of brush cutting that has gone on this property. Now this is going to be, I think, parking lot space over here on the very western edge by Sycamore. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you and show you something, because the real question is going to be 18-wheeler access. That's the CSX terminal, okay? You can't go north on Sycamore because you wind up on the train tracks, and if you go west on St. John's, there's train track access. Although this is going to stay public, okay? But this is the question, is how do you get 18-wheelers into the property? Since a lot of these, you'll notice, right? Shipping and transportation companies. And again, that's DIXIE. That's up to the north where it's going to start the vacation. But this, and people might not be all that familiar with this part of town. And don't worry, I'm going to come back to the actual Baptist property and look at some of the forest that's been removed. I'm showing you something that you might not otherwise know. Because there is a way out. But it's an unusual way out. You ready for this? This is one of my favorite little secret roads. It's not a secret, but not everybody knows that it's here. So Royce to the right, doesn't go anywhere, it's just dead end. But when you come down here, on Royce, still, no way out, doesn't look like much. But again, you're looking for a way for a tractor trailer to get out, or to get in. Which I think will probably be more clear once we show you what's going on over on Brent. But if you come down McCoy, going south, parallel to the interstate, there are some inconvenient speed bumps. Nobody in an 18-wheeler likes that. once you get all the way down here, to Hyatt, this is where things get interesting. Because, you know, there's a lot of stuff down here. And over here, to your left, you have the secret street. Now, it's not really a secret, but this is an access way between Davis Highway and all of that industrial park back there, which would include the southern half of the Baptist site, that obviously 18-wheelers can navigate, because there, look, see? That's Davis Highway. And I say it's a secret only because if you didn't ever drive this way and go up and down this way, you probably wouldn't know it's here. All right, so headed back up Hyatt going to the west. So you can tell that compared to turning in off of, like, say you're coming off of 110, okay? Or 10. So if you're coming that direction and you get off at Brent, easy peasy. You get off at Brent, you turn into Rawson, you come down. On the other hand, now, what 18-wheelers will have to do, again, if the road is not kept open, and I can't imagine that, especially like Rawson is not going to stay open, because that's going to be the Baptist property. I mean, they're going to have, that's going to be parking lot, okay? This is going to be your access path for 18-wheelers if they want to get from, I guess, Davis via Hyatt to go to those distribution centers, manufacturing, whatever they are, that we saw just a minute ago when we got over towards Sycamore to the west. Now, I know this is a long video. I understand. I'm trying to show you, because sometimes you can't really understand it until you get on the ground and you actually see the effect. You know, that's a dead end that way, by the way. You can't get out that way, okay? But again, this would be the pathway, which is not good for these residents necessarily, but it's also not good for the 18-wheelers. Somewhat residential, few residences on the right. And now you see those, you know, shipping companies. You got like Armstrong Electric on my right. I don't know what this distribution center is on my left. But coming up Amber, you know, then this one apparently is available, but there's somebody using it, okay? So all of that and access to it is just, it's one challenge. Might not be the most decisive thing in the world, but that's one thing. And, you know, trucks coming in here to these companies, also going to be a bit of a challenge, right? All right, now we're going to go back around Sycamore. And again, that's the CSX terminal. You can see a nacelle there from the GE turbines, okay? So Damien's is going to have access issues. And again, I just want you to see some of the cutting that has taken place here, because it's, wow, tremendous. Again, I don't see a lot of trees being cut, but the undergrowth, the underbrush is, I mean, you used to not be able to walk back in here. Okay, this was all impassable, basically. And now, this is what it looks like. Again, this will be, I think, parking lot is the plan. There was, oh my gosh, yeah, there was a house back there before. So that's gone. And then this is going to stay open, okay? This will still be a road. Or, again, it will be non-vacated. Now, that may be only because up to Dixie is county. So that may be why. Yeah, that's interesting. So it may only be vacated, that portion of Corday, by the city, because that's all the city annexed. I'm not sure about that. I'll have to look. And then here's Joe Elliott, and this is also part of the annexation. Like, this is all going to be, sorry, this is part of the vacation. It's all been annexed already, but this is part of the what's going to be vacated. So everything that's back here which isn't much operating right now. I mean, these businesses look like they're all empty already. There's Good Time Tours, and the rest of it looks like it's all done anyway, so no big deal. But like I said, I just wanted to give you a sense of it, so that if you've been kind of wondering what's going to happen with this property, or maybe you haven't and I made you think about it. Oh, I know what I wanted to show you. There's one last thing. This is important, but I'll put you on pause because you don't need to watch me drive there. Okay, we're back out on Sycamore. So to our north is PCC's western edge. You got Irby over to my right. You've got the Brent overpass straight ahead. This will eventually go up and turn left and go over the railroad tracks at St. John's. Okay, this is the other part I forgot to tell you about. This is the important piece. The 18-wheelers, how will they get into this area? One possibility is off of Hyatt, off of Davis, very inconvenient. The other possibility, these little access roads, the ones that run parallel to Brent, just to the north and just to the south of Brent. But here's what you're dealing with. Is an 18-wheeler going to happily traverse this or the same thing that's on the other side? And the answer is, I just don't know. Now, long term, I think Baptist might have a plan that would, allow them to come in right off of Brent at a different entrance point. So here we would have, this is going west on Brent, this is the turn lane. 18-wheeler could do this, sorta, maybe. Come down here. This is on the north side of Brent, just up against the PCC property. And then come down here at Sycamore and turn left. Okay, well that's, yeah, I think that's doable. I could do that. So anyway, I just wanted to give you a sense of the scope of the issue. You can see there's an 18-wheeler going through right now. Oh, you know what? Ha! Let's follow him. Let's see what he does. I'm curious to see how this works. How lucky am I to get a glimpse of real life action here? This will prove to me whether this is or is not a feasible plan, I suppose. Because here you have an 18-wheeler exiting off of Sycamore, going on to Brent. So he is into that other lane fairly significantly. Car could probably get around him, but not by not staying in the lane. That is not, I would not imagine that to be a preferred scenario for a trucker. But obviously at least one does it.